Hey Helldivers, welcome back. My name is Modin, aka the most mentally stable Helldiver and democratically appointed court jester of the esteemed SES Vista family values. Today we're talking about the jack-of-all-trades support weapon, the AC-8 Autocannon. The autocannon is unequivocally the most well-rounded support weapon in the entire game. It has taken on a sort of air of mysticism from the community. There doesn't seem to be any other support weapon in the democratic Helldiver arsenal that is so universally held in high regard. Oh, okay, well, I guess there's always the one guy. The AC-8 Autocannon is the perfect illustration of the age-old saying, jack of all trades, master of none, but oftentimes better than a master of one. This support weapon is a Swiss Army knife, and in the right hands can deliver swaths of democratic liberation upon Super Earth's tyrannical enemies when they conduct their completely unprovoked attacks. It can pierce heavy armor and helps fill a squad role of a specialized anti-armor support weapon with more flexibility in usage than, say, a recoilless rifle. I'm going to go over everything about this beautiful weapon and why it is quite possibly my favorite support weapon choice in the game. Actually, it's probably still second to the Airburst, which I also did a video on. So clearly the autocannon is one of the most iconic weapons in Helldivers 2, but how does it actually stack up? You can unlock it at level 10 for 7,000 requisition slips. It is a backpack-fed support weapon, which means when you bring it, you're committing to it. No shield, no supply pack, no utility toys, you are officially the autocannon guy now. It has two firing modes with two vastly different practical applications, armor piercing and flak. AP rounds deal 260 damage on a hit and then 150 damage on the explosion. Flak rounds deal 150 damage on a hit and the explosion deals 190 damage. Flak rounds also have a much wider splash and they use proximity fuses to detonate near targets. These distinct characteristics make AP rounds ideal for single heavy target takedown and flak rounds ideal for groups of fodder and flying enemies. This is also something I'll kind of touch on a little bit more later. The autocannon fires at 190 RPM and carries 10 rounds when reloaded to maximum capacity, split into two 5-round magazines. Reloading is sort of unique with the autocannon. You can't do tactical reloads, meaning that if you shoot 4 rounds and have 6 left, you can't reload. If you have 4 rounds left, then you can reload, but the max you'll get to is 9 due to the magazine size. Just pay attention to your ammo count so you know the optimal time to reload. This is easier said than done if you're like me and really, really bad at math. I signed up to play Helldivers, not do math. So how do you actually use this thing without getting yourself or your whole squad killed? Well, I'm glad you asked. Modin's first rule of the autocannon is treat it like a turret that just happens to have legs. You're not going to be sprinting around like a psychopath with a shotgun, although to be fair, that can be really, really fun. You're setting up shop, covering lanes, and deleting priority targets. The recoil on the autocannon has officially been declared by Super Earth weapon experts as, and I quote, absolutely bananas. So always crouch or go prone when you're firing. It tames the recoil and makes you feel like a real democratic artillery piece. The autocannon can fire rapidly if you hold down the trigger, but just because you can doesn't mean you should. I really recommend firing in controlled bursts, not mag dumping unless you enjoy watching half of your shots ricochet into a wall. Ammo management is the real skill check here. Remember what I said about the weird reload system? Yeah, no, this is where it all matters. Don't wait until you're empty. That's when you try to panic reload and get swarmed. I try to start reloading when I'm down to about 5 bullets left. The autocannon reload is stationary and takes right around 5 seconds for a full reload, while a half reload takes 2 seconds. Unlike me, if you actually have friends that like you, let them reload for you. It turns the autocannon into a belt-fed murder machine, and nothing feels more patriotic than cosplaying as a World War II gun crew in the middle of a cave full of angry bugs. Switching ammo types is also huge. Armor piercing is for Hulks, Striders, Chargers, and Bile Titans, basically anything big, tanky, and ugly. Flak mode, however, with its larger explosion radius, is perfect for taking down large groups of fodder enemies like Troopers, Voteless, and Scavengers. Don't forget to toggle between them because nothing feels dumber than unloading AP rounds into a pack of Swarmers or watching your flak rounds bounce off a Hulk like you just tickled it. A couple of quick faction-specific notes. When fighting the Automatons, be on the lookout for dropships. When they do come down, shoot at the belly of the ship where it's holding the troops. You can pretty easily destroy most of the bots it's carrying. For the bugs, when fighting the Rupture Stream specifically, the autocannon is a great tool for forcing cowardly burrowing bugs to come up and face the blinding light of democracy. It is also a great tool for destroying bug holes. Lastly, the autocannon is great at destroying the unholy flesh mob amalgamations deployed by the Squids. And finally, positioning. With the autocannon, you're going to want clear sight lines, solid cover from teammates. You want to be the anchor at the back or the angle holder on the flank. It's not glamorous, but it usually keeps your squad alive. Lastly, I want to talk about how to build a complete loadout around the autocannon because it doesn't exist in a vacuum. If you're bringing it, you've already sacrificed your backpack slot, so step one is don't bring any other stratagems that include using a backpack, such as a guard dog or recoilless rifle. As for primary weapons, I like pairing it with a solid firearm that can handle trash mobs when you're not in autocannon mode, something like the AR-23 Liberator, AR-2 Coyote, or LAS-16 Sickle. Shotguns like the Breaker or Halt also work if you're comfortable closing the gap. Really, any primary that is built to wipe out small cannon fodder enemies is ideal for this scenario. Armor-wise, I don't really think the kind of armor that you bring, whether it's light, medium, or heavy, matters all that much. I believe that picking an armor with a beneficial passive is more beneficial. Peak Physique can greatly improve the overall handling of the autocannon, while Engineering Kit or Fortified can help with reducing the recoil. As for stratagems, lean into turrets and utility. Sentries complement your role perfectly, covering angles while you blast down heavy enemies. It depends on which faction I'm fighting, but I'll pick between the Gatling, autocannon, or rocket sentries. Usually just picking one with a max of 2. As for offensive stratagems, I'm always partial to the Eagle Strafing Runner Airstrike as well as the Orbital Gatling Barrage. These can all assist you with your role of taking down medium to heavy armored enemies depending on what your teammates are bringing. Speaking of which, obviously you don't want to underestimate teamwork. The autocannon shines brightest when the squad builds around it, but don't expect randoms to do this. Basically, I would recommend someone bring a recoilless to target heavy enemies like the Factory Strider and Bowel Titan, and then people bring fodder clearing weapons. Pretty simple stuff. At the end of the day, the AC-8 Autocannon is pure Helldivers distilled into one weapon. It's powerful, versatile, clunky, and absolutely capable of delivering managed democracy. In the right hands, it's arguably the most effective support weapon in the entire game. So if you haven't given it a shot yet, do yourself a favor and try it out. Learn the reload rhythm, practice swapping ammo types, and maybe even recruit a buddy to be your loader. Once it all clicks, you'll understand why this weapon has basically become a legend in the Helldivers community. That's all for today. If you enjoyed this breakdown, let me know down in the comments, and if you didn't, well, that's treason. Get 'em, boys!